Greetings, my name is Mike and welcome to the video, and I'm super excited to show you this little project that I've been working on for a while now. It's actually very silly but also quite fun. If you don't know, by the way, I am a software developer by profession, but I normally do mobile apps, so this was something a bit different for me. But anyway, this is something that's targeted at people who obviously play DotA and who enjoy AdmiralBulldog streams and YouTube videos. If you're familiar with this stuff, you'll know that viewers can play various sounds on his stream, which makes it a bit more interactive, and it can be really funny if they are well timed. He also has a few automated sounds that are played, like when the bounty runs are about to spawn or if he gets healed, stuff like that. Those are the ones that I was really interested in. I was thinking, how does it work behind the scenes? How have they coded that? Which is what has led me to create this project. There's going to be a link below to the project and all more information and download links and stuff like that, so do check it out if you're interested. And by the way, this isn't affiliated with AdmiralBulldog at all. This is something I'm doing completely by myself. So if that upsets you, then you probably should leave about now. But anyway, so what actually is this app? It's not an announcer pack that's going to replace the in-game announcer like the Gaben one does. So sorry about that if that's what you're looking for. But what it is a little program that runs on your computer while you're playing Dota, and it will play various AdmiralBulldog sounds during your games. Now it has a selection of sounds that is the same as on the Play Sounds page. If you are familiar with his stream and the Play Sounds, then you'll know what we're talking about here. For example, the rune sound effect or the healing sound effect and all the different laughs that people can play there. It's also very customizable, which I'm quite happy with, so you can choose which sounds you want to get played for which different things that happen in game. So enough talk, let's have a look at what the app looks like. I've just downloaded it here from the link below, and you'll get a file like this, which is an executable jar file. Now all that you need to do is double click it to run it, and you should get something that looks like this, where it says it's checking for new sounds. Now the first time you run it, it will go and fetch all of the sounds from the Play Sounds page. At this current time there are 218, as you can see, but they are quite small, so it won't take too long to download. Once that's done, you can go and press the done button, and then you'll land on sort of the main page of the app. Now before we carry on there, I wanted to just show you quickly that in this folder where I had the file, I've now got two extra things as well. I have this config file and I have a sounds folder. These are pretty much created by the app, and you shouldn't really fiddle with them because it'll just negatively affect your experience. Right, the sounds folder is just a list of all the sounds that we downloaded, and the config file is what stores your settings for the app. So if you fiddle with these, if you rename these things or move them or anything like that, you'll have to start again. You'll have to download all the sounds and you'll lose all your settings. So please don't touch those things, and just be sure to keep them in the same folder as the file you downloaded. Anyway, back to the program now. You're on the main screen and you'll notice that it says it's waiting to hear from Dota 2. So on the first time we run it, we'll need to click this little install link here, which will say please choose your Dota 2 installation folder, because we need to create a little file in the Dota 2 folder that allows the app to work. So if I click next, I'll just navigate to my Dota 2 folder, which is in Steam Library, Steam Apps Common, Dota 2. Just click select folder, and then hopefully you'll get a message like this that says successfully installed and please restart Dota if it's open. Cool, I don't have it open, so we're all set. Alright, you'll only need to do that the first time you ever run the app. Once it's sorted, you're pretty much good to go. Now let's get into the interesting bits here. If I click on the change sounds button, you'll see that we get a list of little checkboxes here. These are all the different, what I've called sound events that the app supports, which is things that happen in-game that we can play sounds for. Let's go through them quickly. So we've got, of course, when the bounty runes are about to spawn, when you die, when you lose the match, when you get healed, when you kill an enemy, when the match is about to start, when your Hand of Midas is off cooldown, when you respawn, when you use Smoke of Deceit, when you win the match, and then randomly as time goes on every few minutes. So as you can see, there are quite a few that the app supports, and you can tick them on and off to your liking. So if you only want the Bounty Runes one to be played, you can just untick all the other ones and you're good to go. Also, you'll see that we have a little cog icon next to each of them, and clicking on this allows you to choose which sounds get played for that specific event. You'll notice on the Bounty Runes one, of course, we only have the runes one ticked, which sounds like this.
The runes!
Pretty much as expected. But on other ones, you'll notice that there are multiple selected. Like if I click on the one where we kill a hero, you'll see that there are quite a few that are actually ticked for you here. Now, of course, you can go and untick these ones if you want to. You can tick more, you can tick everything. It's all up to you, depending on what you want to be played. So, these are the kind of things that get played, and it's pretty customizable, as you can see. Lots of different sounds to choose from. And that's pretty much the same for all of them here. When we respawn, for example.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, so, whoops. So I think that is pretty much self-explanatory there. There's also a little search box, so if you're familiar with the play sounds name, you can search for it here, and it'll just appear like that. Pretty straightforward, actually. And of course, there's also a little volume control at the top to adjust the volume to your liking. They can be quite loud, so I wouldn't recommend going too much higher than the 20% that it defaults to. So just keep that in mind. Cool, once we've chosen the sounds we like, we can go and test it in the game. So I'm going to go and open Dota 2 and launch Hero Demo Mode, which is the best place to actually test that this stuff is working. Alright, and you'll note that as soon as we start the game, you'll hear the match start sound effect. Hopefully, if everything's working.
Team.
There we go.
Pepita.
So that happens because if you check my app again, I go change sounds. The match starting one I have ticked, and then when I click the settings, you'll see that only Team Pepita is ticked. So that's why you heard that sound effect there. So already you can tell it's working because that sound got played. But we can show you a few more. If I buy some smokes and use it,
Smoke weed every day.
we hear that good old sound effect. And use it again.
Weed every day.
So that shows that it's working as well. I wanted to see if I can just get lucky real quick. If I get a blink dagger, I want to just go die quickly and see if I can play the death sound effect.
Oh my god! I can't
There it is.
believe
Oh
it!
shit,
And then
here we
you,
go again.
yeah, there we go. So you heard the death sound and the respawn sound. Right, a few of the sounds are chance based. So like the on death one, there's a 1 in 3 chance you'll actually hear a sound because it might get too much. And similarly, when you kill a hero, there's also a 1 in 3 chance. But from that sample, you pretty much heard 4 different things that happen, right? When the match is starting, when you smoke, when you die, and when you respawn. All those 4 you heard, so it's a pretty good demo to show that it is actually working as expected. Now, one question you might be thinking to yourself or wanting to ask me is, can I get banned for using this? And the simple answer is no, you can't. The reason is that this app is using a feature that Dota 2 provides. It's called game state integration. You can look it up if you really want to. But basically what it boils down to is my app is asking Dota 2 to please send me status updates of the game. So every 3 times a second or so, Dota is sending the app information about the current state of the game. For example, how much health does the hero have? What is their position? How much mana do they have? What is their level? That kind of stuff. So my app is just looking at that information that Dota is sending me and then playing sounds based on that. That's all it comes down to. It's completely legal, right? It's, as I said, a feature that Dota provides. So you can't get banned for it, so don't worry about that. Alright, that's the basic setup that I've shown off here. But next I have another cool feature that I'm quite happy with as well, and it's a Discord bot. It allows you to play certain sounds that you choose through Discord voice channels instead of only on your computer, which I think can be quite fun. Let's have a look at that, shall we? If I click the Discord bot button, you'll see that everything is disabled by default, as expected. But if we want to set it up, I can now tick it to enable it. And then the first time you use it, you'll need to click this link to invite the bot to your server. Clicking this will take you to the official Discord website, and it will ask you, do you want to allow this bot into your server? You go ahead and click authorize, and then you'll end up with something like this. You'll see I'm in my server now, and on the right hand side we can see that the Runes bot is actually in the server, which is pretty cool. Next we need to go into a text channel that the bot has permission to read and write to, and then we just type the command !magic. This will ask the bot to send us a private message, and if we have a look, it has this thing that I've called a magic number. This is pretty much your secret little text that you need to use to tell the bot that it's actually you trying to talk to it. And you also shouldn't give this out to anyone else because then they can pretend they were you and it could just lead to some unpleasant stuff. So just keep it a secret to yourself, copy it, go back to the app and paste it in there, and then you're all good to go and use the Discord bot. Below that you'll see there are some tick boxes, and this is what allows you to choose which sounds go through Discord instead of through your computer. Now what I like to do is I tick the Bounty Runes one and the Smoke of Deceit one. That's about all. Right, when I'm playing with my friends, these are the only ones I normally use because they don't watch AdmiralBulldog, so they won't get all the other sounds. So I kind of keep it a bit minimal. But what you could choose if you want to go all out is when you win the match, you lose the match, when the match is starting, and when time goes on randomly. These other ones might be a bit too much. For example, when you get a kill, it might not make much sense to play it through Discord because it's your kill and it might not seem right to play it to everyone. But that's up to you. You can choose whatever you want. Those are the ones I suggest, but I'm just going to leave it on those two because that's how I like it. And then you're all set up to go, and the sounds will be played through Discord voice channel instead of on your app. Let's just see, first of all, we need to go into a voice channel, and then you just type !runes, like that, and then the bot will join your channel as you can see, and then it's all good to go, and it'll play your sounds here. And then you can type !C here to ask it to leave when you are finished, and he'll disconnect. I'm just going to bring him back though. And another cool feature that was suggested to me actually, so thank you for that, is a soundboard for Discord. So if I click on the button, we'll see we get an empty soundboard. We can choose sounds, and you can add any of the available sounds you want to your soundboard. I'm going to go and add the Oh No ones because I really like those. And also the 2 Kek ones because those are also pretty funny. Click save and you'll see they now appear on your soundboard. What this allows you to do is to manually play any of those sounds you want at any time through Discord. So you can use it to troll your friends or something like that. And I can also use it to test that the Discord bot is working. So if I just click Oh No, you'll see that it plays through Discord. If you look carefully, you'll see that the Runes bot is lighting up in Discord. So you know it's coming through Discord now and not on just my app. Similarly, if I click this one, I don't know why that one gets me so much, but you can see that it is working as expected. Pretty awesome, I think. So if you could time this pretty well, you can upset your friends pretty much a lot. A strange side effect though of how Discord works is that you unfortunately can't really spam it and play 5 at the same time. So if I click Oh No twice quickly, it, as you saw, just queues them up one after each other. So you can't spam a lot at once and then super annoy people. That's just how Discord works. It's not how I've chosen to do it. So I think you'll be able to survive without it though. Just keep that in mind. Also, another strange side note of how I've chosen to do it for now, because I'm lazy, is whenever you have these things ticked, if you have Discord enabled and you have stuff ticked below it here, it will always try to play those sounds through Discord, even if you don't have Discord open. So just keep that in mind. For example, if I have Bounty Runes ticked here, but I have Discord closed completely, then I will not hear any Bounty Rune sound at all, because it tries to play through Discord and then sort of just gives up if I'm not in Discord. This is something I probably should fix in future, to have some kind of message here that tells you you're not in Discord. But for now, if you aren't in Discord, just make sure you untick that so that you'll hear all the sounds correctly. And then you can just tick it again when you go back to Discord, and it will remember all your previous settings. So sorry about that, it just comes down to me being lazy, but I probably will address it in future. And that is pretty much all the features I wanted to show off here. I think it is pretty fun to use, and especially if you're having a bit of a tough time and you hear random sounds popping up, it does make it a bit more relaxed, and it helps you to remember that it is just a game. I know I tend to take stuff a bit seriously, so it does help me relax a bit as well. That's all for this video. I actually hope that you are intrigued by this and maybe we'll give it a chance and see how you like it. I am always open to feedback, of course. If you have suggestions for the app, I'd love to hear them. Especially if you have bugs as well. I want to squash them as soon as possible, so please do contact me. If you have a GitHub account, you can post an issue on the project page. But if you don't, then you can also just feel free to join my Discord server. Link below to that. And you can just send me a message on there and tell me your thoughts. Anywho, that's all I've got, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and cheers for now.